Hello, I'm Dr. Nathan Barnes, and welcome to my preview or course tour for the winter term for Wayland Baptist University. This is Introduction to the New Testament. First, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I received a PhD in 2012 from Texas Christian University in New Testament. Actually went to Bright Divinity School, which is a little subset of TCU. It's actually right across the street. So they really don't know what their relationship is, so I don't either. But I did my dissertation on women in philosophy in Corinth, and that's why we have this little picture here, because you have a philosopher, and he is teaching from an open scroll, and his female disciples are listening to him. If you know something about philosophy, you know that it's usually focused on men, as everything else was back at that time. So I want to just introduce you to the course and hopefully answer any questions you have before you even sign up for it, because this is a really great course and I want you to know about it. Okay, first thing you need to know is the syllabus. It's posted on the course description thing where you sign up for courses. So there's this video I did last semester introducing the course, and syllabus is right there, and you can come visit it anytime. It includes stuff like how I'm grading the course and what textbooks you need and yada yada. So here on the second page it says resources. First thing you need is the NIV Study Bible. That's required by Wayland Baptist University and myself also, but this is the Bible that everybody uses in the department. And then there's also Bruce Metzger. He's one of the guys that put together the Greek New Testament for us. There's a lot of different manuscripts of the Greek New Testament, and he's one of the few that's read almost all of them. There's about 35,000 or so fragments of the New Testament, and he goes through there with his committee, and they decide what goes into the New Testament. So we're reading his book on the New Testament. And you can get any version. There's 3 versions. Version 3 is the one that I had to order because we have to order the most recent version as a professor at Wayland. But you can get any version you want. For the purposes of this course, there's no difference. And they get longer. You know, version 1 is the shortest, 2 is expanded a little bit, and 3 is like, 250 pages longer than the first one. So you can just get the one you want. I bought one for 99 cents for me. It was a second edition. The third edition is about $80. So there's quite a bit of difference between the two editions as far as price goes. All weekly assignments are going to be due on Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you basically have the same amount of work to do every week, and it's numbered for you in the course schedule. We expect you to have internet access. Expect you to attend class. We have services for the disabled if you need that. And right here is really important, the procedure for my computation of the final grade. There are 5 aspects of the course. There's the reading review, the blog post, discussion, midterm, and final. And if you notice, all of them are worth 20% of your grade. So the midterm and the final are worth quite a bit because it's only one assignment, and there are 10 reading reviews, and there's only one midterm, and 10 blogs, and only one final exam. Yet they're weighted the same. So you need to make sure and study and do well on the midterm and final exam. Honesty, I am very good at detecting plagiarism. I work as an editor professionally, and I can see plagiarism like you would not believe. So please do not copy from online or any other source. People even have copied directly from the textbook into the midterm and final, and also into their weekly assignments. You're not going to get any credit for assignments that you have copied and pasted. It irritates me, and it's bad for you. So please don't do that. Okay, now we get to the fun part. This is a course outline and calendar, which basically means the assignments that you have and when they're due. Now, every week there are 6 components to your assignment, and that is not as difficult as it sounds. I just wanted to outline everything that you need to do. This is like a checklist for every week, and it gets easier. At first, the first 3 weeks are going to be a little tough. Fourth week is okay. Fifth week is the midterm, and that's going to be the hardest week of the course. And then we have a downhill slope of 5 easier weeks. So we're going to start strong here. The required reading is either from Metzger or the New Testament or both. And then you have, I'd also put, because there's several different editions, and I didn't want to go through and find all the page numbers, I just put the subtitles that are in the table of contents, and you can find, for example, political and social background of Palestinian Judaism, and then you read Appendix 1 and 2. That stuff hasn't changed, even though the books have changed a lot. So that's the reading. This is about 45 pages of reading or so for the first day. And then you listen to and take personal notes over the lecture. I'll show you where that is in a minute. And then you complete the reading review. Now the reading review is a lot of fun because what I'm asking you to do, instead of taking a quiz or an essay assignment at the first of each class, like a lot of classes do, I'm asking you to do a reading review where you reflect on the reading, and what I'm going to ask you to do is come up with 2 questions, one from Metzger and one from the New Testament, if you have both, or 2 from Metzger, 2 from the New Testament. Pick out something in the reading that confused you, made you mad, or made you have hope, or any kind of response that you have to the reading. Write about it. That's all it is. And I do require a little bit of a word count, 250 to 500 words. If you go longer than that, I will be delighted to read it, but please do not go shorter because you won't get credit for it. So that's the reading review. Very easy. I have an instructional video on how to do a reading review, and I also have samples because it's a little bit unusual assignment. Not every professor does it. So I do provide that for you, so it's a little bit easier than it sounds. And then you check the discussion section of week 1, and I'll show you where that is. And in the discussion section, I try to get the discussions going by giving 3 questions. And what I want you to do is to either answer one, or not answer it, but address it, or come up with your own question and write about 100 words on either your question or mine, and then come back to the discussion group and respond to other students' posts. And we need at least 3 responses, and they need to be substantive responses, not just I agree or no. Not these one-line or one-word responses, but a couple of sentences interacting with and talking about these issues with other students. And I will stir up the pot occasionally, playing the devil's advocate or whatever, trying to get discussion going, because sometimes everybody agrees with everyone, and it's not any fun. And then, after you thoughtfully respond to at least 3 people, so there are 4 posts required each week. 1 longer post addressing a question or creating one, 3 shorter posts that interact with other students' posts. So what I like people to do is come in on Wednesday and post their long question, and then come in on Sunday evening and post the 3 shorter interaction posts. But it's completely up to you when you want to do that. And then you do your blog entry. There's a blog entry required each week, and that's your space. I view it basically as extra credit because I grade that very leniently, but it's basically thinking about what has happened in the week, and it's 100 words. And then I have resources online. This is not an assignment. It's very, very good websites that you can go to if you have more interest than we covered in the class. Okay, so there are 6 components to every week. Number 1 is the reading. Number 2, listen and take notes. 3 is complete the reading review, which is basically a reflection on what you've just listened to and read. And then you do your discussion questions, which is always about the reading. And and then you respond to 3 of your classmates, and then do your blog entry. So you have this checklist every week, and see, it stays the same, except for midterm. Now, I'm really sorry that I have to do this, and I can't figure out a way to get around it. But week 5 is tough because you have the same amount of work, and then you have your midterm. But hopefully, to make up for this, I give you a week to take your midterm, and you can use any resource you want. You can use websites, you can use books, you can use a dictionary, you can use anything. So you have a week, and you have all of your resources available to you. So, but it's still a very difficult midterm. I don't want to make it sound like it's not difficult, but it's going to be a challenge. And I have a midterm preview section that you can access at the very beginning of class. You know, whenever we first start, it'll give you a detailed overview of the midterm and how to do well on it. So you'll have 5 weeks to prepare. If you take it like that, you won't have to prepare very much at the end. So it's just completely up to you. But I would definitely watch that video before you take the midterm. Okay, now we have this checklist that I showed you. If you go to weekly assignments, I clicked on it, and of course we're waiting. I always have the latest week at the top of the page. Right now, we're viewing the fall course, and we're on week 8, and it's Paul. So this is what it looks like, and you can tell it looks a lot like the syllabus. It has the 6 assignments, or 6 components of one assignment, really, and it has the video. Some of you will not see a video. If you don't see one, here is the YouTube URL, and you just paste that into your browser, and you get to see it. Now, you see that I'm wearing that hat, and I believe this shirt, and I'm wearing glasses. If you can see it here. My wife makes fun of me. She thinks these glasses look terrible. What they are gaming glasses, and they're used by gamers who live in their mother's basement to play video games for more than 24 hours at a time. And whenever you wear them, it enlarges the text on your screen, and it keeps your eyes from getting fatigued. And I told you earlier, I am a professional editor, so I look at my computer about 14 hours a day. And when I make these videos, it could be at 3 in the morning, and you know, sometimes it's the only time to do it. And you'll see me wearing these glasses because my eyes are tired. So that's that. Also, you'll notice that my little picture area covers over the text sometimes, but you can get around that fairly easily just by looking at your notes. So I can't help either one of those. And also, I wear a TCU hat because I graduated from TCU. I also graduated from Wayland 10 years ago with a master's degree, and 2 years before that with a bachelor's, both in religion. And a lot of people in the religion department were there whenever I was there. So I have a lot of love for Wayland, but I don't have any Wayland hats because it's been too long. So the reason why I wear a hat is because of the lighting. I'm bald, and my head reflects the light, and I thought that would be distracting, so I wear my hat. So that's 2 things you're going to see in the video, the glasses and the hat. So you'll also see me drinking. This is coffee. My wife is having twins in a couple of months. She's due May 5th. It's our first child. And I am already losing sleep, so I try to stay awake. So the first thing you do is do your reading. This case, there's a lot of little books of the Bible. If you're going to read the entire Bible in these 11 weeks, not the entire Bible, the entire New Testament. And these are epistles attributed to Paul. And then, after you read these, you listen to this lecture and take personal notes. Now, I have links to everything. And you're going to see I have a Mac, so it goes into Downloads, Lecture Notes Week 8. Okay. So this is what the lecture notes look like. It also has the 6 elements of the assignment. So basically whatever you're looking at in the course is going to have these points, and you can know exactly where you are in the assignment. So that's helpful to me as I'm going through this stuff. So you're listening right now to a lecture, and you would be taking personal notes. So what you do is, this is exactly the order that's in the PowerPoint in the lecture, and basically these are my lecture notes. And this is where I take all of the questions for the final exam, and most of the questions for the midterm is going to be exactly from this material. So this is what you study for the midterm and for the final exam. But notice it's just notes. They aren't answers to questions. What you do is you put your cursor down there by the E in Rome. And I'm going to hit enter a couple times. And as I'm listening to the lecture, I'll put the lecture up here instead of Netflix. Put the lecture up here and take notes right here. And then you save it, and you have your material to study for your final. And you have your material to use, if you want to, in writing your reading review and interacting with other students. Sorry about this. Okay, so we've looked at the reading, we looked at the taking personal notes just now, and then you complete the reading review. And if you click on this, it takes you to the week's reading review area. And this is where you write your reading review right here, or you can attach a file with it on and submit it. A piece of cake. The instructions for the reading review is on the reading reviews link, and we have here, this is my dog's head, and you have the reading review instructions, reading review examples, and then week 1, 2, 3. This is where it linked to from the weekly assignments. It's the same place. So and it's 350 words. I might have said 250 earlier. I go back and forth, but it's going to be cool. So I'm going to go back to weekly assignments. I'm going to have to go underneath. That's the course evaluations. Everybody's writing rave reviews about the course. We just checked out the complete the reading review section, piece of cake, and then discussion section. It's going to link to the forums. And like I said earlier, I try to start out the discussion. This is what you'll see. If another student created a question, which happens sometimes, you would see another student's name and the title of their thread. You just hit create thread and type in your question and write out your explanation for the question, if you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, you just click on one of these questions, and you'll see the student wrote one long post, at least 100 words, and then someone else came back and did a short post, which is, no, there's no word requirement on that. You just have to do more than, just a couple of words. So this is how it usually looks. And you're required to do 4 posts. So, and you'll notice that some are more interesting than others. And that's okay. Okay, you saw the discussion section, 4 posts a week. And then the blogs, you just click on the blog, it takes you directly there. And because I clicked on it, it took me to my blog, which I haven't created one for week 8 yet. But I would reflect on the what I learned this week. There is usually, I could tell you, great blog posts. And students don't usually read them because I don't require you to. But it's a very good idea to read the other blogs because you get a really personal understanding of what other people are going through when they're reading the text. So I can't figure out a way to require people to read blogs, but there's some really good stuff. Every class I've had has posted really good blogs. So I want to talk to you about the links over here. First is please introduce yourself. That is a discussion area. You just click on introduce yourself and create a thread and tell us a little bit about yourself. And you can see it's pretty popular. Everybody does that. And then instructor information is me, and I'm right here, Dr. Nathan Barnes. Office hours are anytime. You can email me. If you email me, you will reach me. If you decide that you want to call me, you probably won't reach me. I'm not available on the phone. I have it right here on my desk, but I usually have it on silent because I don't want it bothering me. I get a lot of calls from salesmen and whoever. I don't want to talk to them, but I want to talk to you. So you can call me, and I've had students reach me in the past, but the best place to reach me is just clicking on the email, and I'm glad to get in touch with you just as soon as possible. So your midterm, I have midterm video instructions, and this is what you need to watch in order to get an idea of what the midterm is going to be like. I give the same midterm every semester with just a little bit of updating. So it's pretty, I really like my midterm, but it's a little different. So you need to watch this video, and I will also supply you with this midterm, the fall 2013 midterm, which is just this previous course, and you can review that and know exactly what to expect on the midterm. So I'm trying to compensate for that week 5 as much as I possibly can. So, and this is where you turn in your midterm. You just click on it and submit your midterm. So you download it in Word or in Pages or maybe even in Adobe if you ask me for it. I can do that, and you turn in your midterm right here. So please watch the midterm video instructions. It's actually on your course. It's titled your midterm preview, and I show you that this is the fall instructions and the fall midterm, and when it's due and everything like that. Course tour, very important. That's this video, basically taking you through the course. I'm going to be posting this video right here in this area. Syllabus we went over. Study tips. This is really good. A lot of people get frustrated at the beginning of the course because there's a lot of reading and it's difficult reading sometimes. So I give you some notes on how to read Metzker because he's just a little bit different. He is writing for college students, but they're college students that are maybe like a senior and not just starting out or just going back to school. So it's a little bit higher level than most of your textbooks. So I'll give you some tips on how to do this. I made a short little video on not understanding and not being frustrated with yourself when you don't understand something. If you already understood everything, you wouldn't need to take the course. And I think that most of us misunderstand most things until we have an experience that gets us on the right path. So I understand, in my understanding, I misunderstand the New Testament more than I understand it because I understand so little. So that's that. This is my spiel on not understanding and my tips on how I got through my doctoral program not understanding stuff. And then there's Becoming a Better Student series. This changed my life. Whenever I started college, I had a 2.2 grade point average from high school. I graduated with a 3.9 because I listened to and I took notes on this course, How to Become a Better Student, with Dr. Ray Tahiri. So I went the distance. I got a full scholarship to a PhD program whenever I graduated at the very bottom of my class from high school. So there's some more. This is actually better, but it's a lot longer. This duration, 45 minutes. If you take this, you're going to be knowing what's up about studying. And so I have a repeat of that down lower. I forgot to mention something on the weekly assignments. You notice this is week 8, and then week 7 is below it, week 6, 5, and so on. I do this because you might want to go back, like when you're studying for the midterm, and review these videos. The latest one is always on top, and then it just goes down from there. So that makes it very easy, and you'll have the whole course at the end of the course posted right here. Okay, weekly assignments are all the assignments compiled with the links, okay, to each component. If I go back up here, you'll notice we have weekly blogs as a component of the course. Well, all the blogs are compiled in one spot. You don't have to go to weekly assignments. You can just click on blog. If you know you need to do your blog, click on the week that you're on, and it will go to the same place that the weekly assignments takes you. And there's not anything here because I didn't do it. Okay, and the same thing with lecture notes. This is going to be really important. If you want to print out all your lecture notes in order to study for your midterm or your final exam, you can print them off here. You just got to click on them and print. And same thing for the discussion board. We have all the discussion boards in one spot. I have some extra credit projects I'm going to talk about later. This is an introduce yourself. We already saw that thread. I have a student feedback thread. But if you go down to the weeks here, this is week 1 discussion board. And when you click on it, it has the questions from me. And here we have some questions from students. And this is how you do it. He's had my thought on mystery religions. Not really a question, but that's okay. Mouse just died. But he has about 100 words here. So he talks about how he was growing up in childhood and finding the mystery, understanding the mystery religions, which is a difficult concept. But you can tell this Nathan Barnes stuff. I started some, and I don't know why there's no posts here. Oh, that's because I haven't read them. Here's the posts on the other side. 24 posts and 30 posts. There are 19 people in the class, so just about everyone posted on this one and this one. So anyway, this is a lot more fun than I thought it would be, but it's really good to talk about this stuff. In reading reviews, this is all the reading reviews in one spot with the instructions. See, there's week 1, and that's the same thing in the weekly assignments, week 1. Okay, so those are the components of the course. Weekly blog, lecture notes, reading reviews, and of course, your reading. And then, there's timelines. I have like 3 or 4 timelines. They all have lectures with them. This is 20 minutes long, 22. I tried to do it as short as possible, 15. Okay, these 3 timelines are going to be on your midterm. So you need to come and view this at some time. Cool, very cool timelines, actually. This will give you a perspective on when everything was happening as the New Testament was coming together. YouTube videos is where I post my responses to the class. I have also a very fast Ephesus experience. These are pictures of Ephesus, which is a city that Paul wrote a letter to the Ephesians, and also John probably wrote the Gospel of John in Ephesus. And then I have stuff on patronage and friendship, which is a very important concept in Roman economy. And that's it for this page. So what I do is I try to, I do put all of the videos that I actually make during the term, apart from the lectures, in the YouTube videos section, so you can just click on the link. If you remember, oh, he talked about this, well, I made a YouTube video about it, so you can click on that link and it'll take you right there. Okay, then you have the Wayland Library. Student feedback is for me. If you click on that, it goes to a discussion area. I do have a have you read the New Testament before? A survey. I'd like to know if you've read the New Testament whenever we start. And then student feedback is a place for you to contact me. Another place to contact me is through the Any Questions link. You know how you go to class, and you wait all class period to talk to the professor about something that's on your mind that might not necessarily be worth interrupting the class about? Well, this is how you catch me before and after class. And this is how you catch me in my office. To ask me questions about anything. If you have a random question about when the midterm is due, or if you have a question about not being able to find something on the website, or anything else really. You just go to here on the questions form, click on it, and you'll see that I have very few questions because I go out of my way to try and give clear instructions before I give assignments. So I had a couple of questions on History Channel videos was for the midterm submission. This person had a problem submitting the midterm. So not a lot going on here, but this is where I'm available to you. And also always by email. Itty Bitty Wiki is exactly what it is, a very, very small wiki. I have one on early Christian persecution, the mystery religions, because everybody is interested in that, and Palestinian Judaism. And I try to update these, but I haven't needed to yet. So these will be updated as needed. I don't have time to cover a lot of stuff in the lectures. I only have 11 lectures, and I can't possibly cover everything. So this will give you a little bit extra stuff to help you understand what I'm talking about in the lectures, because I can't slow down and define everything. Okay, tools is for me. The Itty Bitty Wiki, we just talked about that. Extra credit. I'm not a fan of extra credit, but I like offering it, so I've been struggling with this every term, but I like to do it. So what I do here is just like in everywhere else in the course. It goes 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or that's what I wanted it to do. So what you do is you click on week 1, and what I'm requiring is that you reply to this message and give me 3 questions for the midterm related to week 1's reading. And then as you go, if you make it all the way to week 5, which is right here, you will be able to get 5 points added to your midterm grade. So it's a very valuable extra credit, and it's very simple. And then you can do the same thing for your final exam. That's weeks 6 through 10. You can submit 3 questions for the final exam, and it's better if they're thoughtful. So I will use these actually on the final, and on the midterm, which is why I call it Create Your Own Midterm and Create Your Own Final. So that's a very easy extra credit assignment, and you get 5 points added to the exams. Okay, New Testament links. This is a collection of links that I have for websites that I think are very, very useful and authoritative even. There's not a whole lot you can see, but they're very good. And you can peruse those at your pleasure. So that's my course. I hope you take it, and I hope you have a good time taking it. Look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions. Thanks so much.